Welcome back to a very rare chunk of Italy, because for 20 points this week in autumn you can go ahead and grab yourself the 2012 Lamborghini Gallardo Spyder. Despite the name, it's not actually a spider, trust me. From stock, this thing has 562 brake horsepower, 398 foot-pounds of torque while weighing an almighty 3,618 pounds, so it is quite heavy with a 5.2 litre engine. Although, to be fair, I do have to say, what a nice looking car it is. I mean, to be fair, the Gallardo itself is a nice looking car. A Gallardo Spyder, honestly, it just does so well. Not only with performance, but also with style as well, because somebody on a Lamborghini forum decided to point out that the side of it looked a little bit like a Bugatti Zonda with the roof up. And speaking of the roof, if we press down on the left stick, we'll go ahead and see we can actually go ahead and take the roof off of this thing. Going to the inside, it doesn't look any different from the regular Gallardo, but I've got to say though, it does still look pretty good, and I do like the stitching as well around the steering wheel and all that. Got a few gauges over in the middle there, and now let's go ahead and take a listen to that 5.2 litre. Now, I've got to say, this thing truly does sound absolutely incredible, especially with that 5.2 litre, which I believe is a V10. But now let's go ahead and jump over to conversions and over to engine swaps. We've only got ourselves one available for this thing, and it is the Racing V12, capable of 750 brake horsepower and more. This thing does start out stock all-wheel drive, but if you want, you can go ahead and make it rear-wheel drive, which I don't know why you would, but you can. And if you want to go ahead and throw on some twin turbos or a supercharger, well, good news, you can do that too. Going over now to aero and appearance, let's see what we have. We've got ourselves, well, just plain Forza aero for the front, and going to the back, we have the option to put on just a regular Forza wing, which just looks wrong on this thing. In the meantime, our mechanic Mac has been very busy throwing together a race tune for this thing. This is all the way up in S1, so let's go ahead and bring up the share code for that very quickly. There it is, feel free to go ahead and grab it for yourself. We're going to go ahead, download and install, and see what we've got to work with. So with those upgrades installed, we're now at the top of S1 at S1 900. We've got ourselves 2,894 pounds in weight, which is a lot lighter than before, and we're making nearly 760 brake horsepower. All that out of a convertible. What could go wrong? For the love of everything, please don't answer that question. So with those upgrades installed, we're now at the paint shops. Let's go ahead and see what we've got. We've got ourselves two advanced paint groups, which is pretty cool. You don't usually get to see those too often. Paint group number 1 is the main body of the car, and what is paint group number 2? Let's go ahead and take a look. It is apparently all the extra little trim pieces. That's not bad, that. Going over now to manufacturer paint colours, we have ourselves a whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different paint colours for this thing, and I've got to say the white on this looks absolutely beautiful. Then again, so does the orange. Now, I have been lucky enough to see a few Lamborghinis in my lifetime, not really up close per se, but they have been very interesting cars. But the Lamborghini Gallardo Spyder is one I've still yet to see, and there's a reason for that, which we'll get into in just a few moments' time. Either way, away we go. Got a Saline something over to our right. We've got ourselves another Lamborghini Huracan. I don't even know which version, there's been too many. Right, first turn, how do we do? We punted another Gallardo Spyder out of the way, but all in all, we've actually done not too badly. Which, for this thing, I'm quite surprised. In the meantime, let's go ahead and try and see if we can make up a couple spaces down here. Let's fly past the inside of somebody. We'll career into the Saline. Oops, that's going to be expensive. Oh dear, brake. Oh my god, it feels like I'm in a car mosh pit. Excuse me, Lamborghini coming through. Some may say the better Italian supercar. In the meantime, I did say there's a reason why I've not seen so many of these in the UK, and that is because apparently, I've had a look at the numbers, there's been around roughly 170 of these worldwide, and only one of which is on UK roads. And if you happen to be the lucky person to find that car, it's still going to be very expensive, because apparently used prices for these are soaring between 70 to 170,000 pounds. Which is this in US dollar, by the way. Right, there's an Audi R8 ahead of us, which uses a, I believe, derivative of this engine. The Audi R8 is now behind us. Couldn't have timed that any better. 95%, one more turn to go. We've managed to make it around there flawlessly, and across the line we go. And of course, this week in Horizon 5 is themed around Horizon 2, so that's pretty cool. We got ourselves a first place and a time of 1 minute 55. Now, I've got to say, that was quite the race indeed, and it really took us towards the end to actually get that first place, but we did get it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this week's backstage vote, because this week we've got ourselves a very interesting vote indeed. We have ourselves the Alfa Romeo 8C and the Bentley Turbo R versus double Aston Martin with the DBS and the Lagonda from 1990. Now, while I do like having the addition of the Turbo R back again, which is a very nice car, I do, however, prefer the double Aston Martin, so that is getting my vote. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. By the way, if you don't want to do all the extra work this week, you can head over to the Backstage Pass and grab one of these for yourself. In the meantime, while we've been out racing, Mac has been very busy putting together a drag tune for us. Let's go ahead and bring up the share code of that real quick. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and grab that for yourself. We're going to go ahead, do just that, and see what we've got to work with. Why do I feel like I've said that already? So with all these upgrades applied, we're now even lighter than we were before at £2,852 with nearly 1,200 brake horsepower. This thing's going to be carnage. Especially if it won't stop. Right, here we are now over at the back of the Festor, and I think what I'm going to do very quickly is just go ahead and put the roof up on this thing. Let's go ahead and see, do we get a little bit of a wheelie check out of the Lamborghini Gallardo Spyder? The answer is we get a bit more, just a little. Mac, I don't know how you keep doing this, but well done. Right, here we are now over at the edge of the good old drag strip. Let's go ahead and get ourselves on launch control, and away we go. At nearly 1,200 brake horsepower, 2,850 something pounds in weight. This thing is actually pretty good always round as far as specs go. 192 through the camera, and what do we get off the end of the runway? 209, and no braking like usual. I think we all knew that was going to happen. Right, now it's our turn to go ahead and have a little bit of fun with this thing, so we're going to jump straight to conversion. We are going to go ahead and actually throw in that racing V12. We're also going to go ahead and, I think, chuck in the twin turbo as well we can. That was a mess of words, but you get the idea. We're going to go ahead and add even more power to this thing as if it's not got enough already. While we're at it, we're also going to go ahead and chuck this onto some semi-slick tyres. Also make them wider at the front, and hopefully as well, if we get the chance to, let's see, wider at the back as well. And we're definitely making this thing a lot lighter. Yeah, I'm sure that looks fine. Right, let's go ahead now and try and tune this thing for some top speed. I don't know how well we'll do, but hopefully we'll get a good result. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and take a look at the Forza shop. This week it contains the Bugatti Chiron from 2018, a Backstage Pass, the Horizon Europe t-shirt, the Lamborghini Aventador Super Veloce or Super Veloce, I don't know how to say that one. We also have ourselves the paint spray car horn, which sounds a bit like this. Very interesting indeed, very artistic. And we've also got ourselves the Horizon Super Wheel Spin and the regular Horizon Wheel Spin as well. And now, out to the motorway. But before we do that, let's go ahead and give this thing a fresh new coat of paint. Yeah, that looks alright. Well, that's a bit awkward. Moving on. In the meantime, let's go ahead and see how close do we get to the motorway grade today. And I think we have pretty much done it. Let's go. That does not happen often. You know what, in celebration, I'm going to go ahead and actually just put the roof back down for a bit. There we go. Anyway, let's go ahead, get ourselves onto launch control, and away we go with the Lamborghini Gallardo Spyder. Just under 3,000 pounds in weight, 1,200 brake horsepower, well, thereabouts. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. And for this, I'm hoping for a good result, because it has been really good up to now. And out of the speed zone, 239.27. We've got another gear to go, the downhill, and also a speed camera as well. So let's go ahead and see what we can get out of this thing. Judging by how it is at the moment, I think I'm going to aim for roughly 245. Right, to the camera, there it is, 242.61 going downhill. There's 245, 246, 247. Do we get any more? 248 out of this thing. We've actually surpassed expectations. Up to the motorway sign. On the brakes we go. How do we do with this thing? Do we get a decent stopping distance? You know what, I think that might have been better than last week's car. Although we're not quite done with this thing just yet. Because as we all know by now, no drive is complete without a drift in this thing. So let's go ahead, throw it in here, see how well we do. Nearly 1,200 brake horsepower. We're quite a fair ways off-road, which wasn't really planned. And out to run number one at 38,820. Hopefully the next one's going to have a bit less off-roading. Still, only one way to find out. Here's a round number two. Let's go ahead and throw this thing in, see what we got. 38,000 or 38.8k is the score to beat. I don't think it's going to happen, but we are going to get close at 34,890. Not quite as good as last week, but still not too bad. Anyway, that is this video on the Lamborghini Gallardo Spyder Performante. It's got a much longer name, but I can't remember the entire lot of it right now. If there is another car that you want to see me have a look at in Forza Horizon 5, please do go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to get around to it. Mostly because there's a lot of cars in this game, believe it or not. But in the meantime though, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Tech out. See ya. Why do I get a feeling it's going to be a double Lambo this week?